This is a simple function which takes the input as user name, I mean the student name and student age. So when we are passing this one, name of a student and age of a student, it will print the name and age. If I run the code, so it is printing Ravi. And but what if I want to add city? For example, if I want to add city as Bangalore, then again I have to modify this code to add city, and I have to print this city. And user also wanted to add something else, phone number or gender or anything, any different field. Here we do not know how many fields that user will put. So in that case, we have to use kwags. So welcome to Python Uncovered. In this lecture, let's understand kwags. What are kwags? So previously we learned that args is one concept in Python which packs all the arguments into a tuple. So kwags is also one concept which packs all the keyword arguments. Previously, args will pack all the positional arguments, and whereas this kwags will pack all the keyword arguments into a dictionary. So to pack all these fields into a dictionary, what I can write is double asterisk kwag. That's it. And here this kwag is just a variable name. You can replace that with anything. So if I try to print kwags, also the data type of kwag, sorry, if I run the code, see here everything is packed into a dictionary, and the type of the kwags is dict. So this is how you will pack the keyword arguments. These are keyword arguments, right, into a dictionary. When we do not know that how many fields that user put in this function, so simply write double asterisk. Single asterisk is for args and double asterisk is for kwags, right? And I've told you about an order, how to write, where to write a positional arguments, where to write keyword arguments, where to write kwags. What should be the order of these kwags? I'll tell you one order of parameters. This is how the order of the parameter should be there in any Python function. So firstly, you have to put positional arguments. Whenever you are writing a function, let's say the function is demo, the first one should be a positional arguments, and the second one should be args. Later you have to put default or keyword parameters, which is a equals to 2, b equals to 3, and so on. Later you have to put kwags. So later you have to put kwags. Kwags should be always at the end of the function arguments. Order should always be at the end. The first one is positional, second one is the args, and third one should be keyword, and fourth one should be args. So I'll just give you a simple code snippet and try to guess the output of this code snippet. Try to guess the output of this code snippet. Pause this video and try to guess the output of the code snippet. I have written the function with the order that I mentioned previously. So initially I put positional arguments followed by arguments, I mean args, later keyword argument, later kwag. So this should be the order. If the order is missed, then it throws an error. So try to guess the output of the following code. So initially these are positional arguments. So those values will become the values at this position. So A would become 1, B would become 2. Fine. And remaining these all positions will be packed into args tuple. Okay, fine. 3, 4, 5 would become args. C would become 6. And these two would be packed into kwag as a dictionary. So that would become an output. If I run the code, see, A is 1, B is 2, and remaining these 3 are packed into a tuple. Later C is 6, and remaining all are packed into a dictionary, which is kwag. So that is all about quag concepts, and this order is so important. I have kept a lot of interview questions and quizzes in quiz section. There are very tricky questions. Try to answer those quiz questions. If you were able to answer those quiz questions, then you understood these concepts so well. So try to write the quizzes. I have put 4 quizzes covering all the topics that I have covered in this course. So just try to write all the 4 quizzes and try to get at least 9 marks, 8 to 9 marks in every quiz. Then only you can be assured that you know the memory concepts and you know the internal working, and you are ready to write the Python production level codes without any bugs. See you in the next lecture.